Welcome to our channel. Today we are going to share a life-changing story of a boy who faced failure again and again in ways you can't even think. His life was full of rejection, pain, and struggle. But something unexpected happened that changed everything. Stay till the end because his transformation will truly surprise you. This is the story of a boy named Daniel. He was not special in the eyes of others. He lived a simple life with simple dreams. But every time he tried to move forward, something went wrong. It felt like the world was against him. Slowly he started believing that maybe success was not meant for him. In school, Daniel always struggled. No matter how hard he tried, his results were poor. Teachers did not expect much from him. Some even ignored him completely. Students around him moved ahead, while he stayed behind. This made him feel small, weak, and lost in his own life. At home, the situation was also heavy. His parents wanted him to succeed. They believed he could do better. But they did not understand his struggle. Every bad result brought disappointment. Every failure brought silence. Daniel started feeling like a burden in his own home. One day, after failing another exam, Daniel walked home slowly. His mind was full of negative thoughts. He felt tired, not just physically but mentally. He entered his room, closed the door, and sat quietly. For the first time, he felt like giving up completely. He looked at his books and asked himself a painful question. Why do I always fail? There was no answer, only silence. That silence felt heavy. It made him feel empty inside. At that moment, he believed that maybe he was not made for success. Days passed and Daniel stopped trying. He avoided challenges, he avoided people, he stayed quiet most of the time. His world became smaller, he felt safe, but the safety was slowly destroying his future without him realizing it. One evening, something unusual happened. Daniel went outside to clear his mind. He sat alone in a quiet place. An old man noticed him and came closer. He looked at Daniel carefully and asked, "Why do you look so tired at such a young age?" At first, Daniel ignored him, but the question stayed in his mind. Slowly, he opened up. He shared everything, his failures, his fears, his pain. The old man listened without interrupting. For the first time, someone truly listened to him. After hearing his story, the old man smiled gently. He said, "You are not weak. You just don't understand how growth works." Daniel was confused. No one had ever said this to him before. It felt different. The old man gave him a simple advice. Don't try to change your whole life in one day. Start with one small step. Win one moment. It sounded simple, but Daniel was unsure. Could something so small really change his life? The next day, Daniel decided to try. Instead of thinking about big success, he focused on small tasks. He completed it. It was not perfect, but it was done. That small success gave him a feeling he had not felt in a long time. But change is never easy. The next day he felt again. The old thoughts returned. His mind told him to stop, to go back to his old life. This was the moment that would decide his future. Daniel remembered the old man's words, "Win one moment." So he tried again and again. Slowly he started building a habit not of success but of trying. And that was the real beginning of his transformation. Weeks passed and Daniel started noticing small changes. His focus improved, his confidence slowly returned. He was still not the best, but he was no longer the worst. For the first time, he felt like progress was possible. His teachers started noticing him, not because he was perfect, because he was consistent. His effort was visible. His answers improved. Step by step, he was moving forward. At home, his parents also saw the change. They were surprised. Daniel was working harder than before. He was not giving up easily. Slowly, their attitude changed. They started supporting him instead of doubting him. But life was not done testing him. Just when things started improving, a bigger challenge came, something that would push him to his limits, something that could break him again or make him stronger than ever. Because real growth comes when everything goes wrong again. And what happened next in Daniel's life was not small, it was a moment that changed everything. This was only the beginning. From failure to something no one expected. But the real test had not come yet. And when it came, it pushed Daniel into a situation where he had to make the most important decision of his life. Just when Daniel started improving, life hit him again. A major exam was coming. This exam could decide his future. He worked harder than ever before, day and night. He studied. For the first time, he truly believed he could succeed. The day of the exam arrived. Daniel felt nervous but also hopeful. He entered the hall with confidence. As the paper came in front of him, his mind suddenly went blank. Everything he studied felt lost. Panic slowly started taking control. He tried to remember, but nothing worked. Time was passing quickly. His hands started shaking. Fear returned stronger than ever. The same old feeling of failure came back. It felt like all his hard work was going to waste again. After the exam, Daniel walked out silently. He already knew something went wrong. Days later, the result came. He felt again. This time the pain was deeper because this time he had truly tried. That night, Daniel sat alone in his room. He felt broken. His mind was full of doubt. No matter what I do, I fail, he said to himself. Tears rolled down his face. This was his lowest point. The old thoughts returned stronger than ever. Just stop trying, his mind whispered. You are not made for this. It felt easier to give up than to continue. For a moment, Daniel almost accepted defeat. But then something inside him changed. He remembered the small wins. He remembered the progress. He realized something important. This failure was not the same as before. This time he had tried with full effort. Slowly he stood up. His heart was still heavy, but his mind became clear. He said, I failed, but I am not finished. That one thought changed everything. It gave him a new kind of strength. The next morning, Daniel did something unexpected. Instead of hiding from failure, he faced it. He reviewed his mistakes. He understood where he went wrong. For the first time, he used failure as a lesson. Days turned into weeks again. Daniel started working smarter, not just harder. He changed his method. He focused on understanding instead of memorizing. Slowly, things started making sense. Another chance came, another exam. This time, Daniel was calm. He was not afraid of failure anymore. He entered the exam hall with a different mindset. He focused on doing his best, not being perfect. When the paper came, he felt ready. He answered with confidence. There was pressure, but he controlled it. For the first time, he finished without panic. Something felt different. When the results came, Daniel was nervous. He slowly checked his score. His hands were shaking, and then he saw it. He had passed. Not just passed, he performed better than expected. That moment changed everything. It was not just about passing the exam. It was about proving to himself that he could grow, that he was not weak, that he was capable. His confidence returned stronger than ever. He continued working step by step. He improved in every area of his life. People who once ignored him started noticing him. Daniel's story spread not because he was the best, but because he never gave up. His journey was from failure to success inspired others. People started asking him how he changed his life. He always gave the same answer: start small, stay consistent, and never let failure define you. These simple words carry deep meaning because he had lived them. Years later, Daniel became successful in his field, but he never forgot his past. He never forgot the pain, the struggle, and the moment he almost gave up. Those moments made him stronger. This story is not just about Daniel, it is about anyone who feels lost, weak, or behind in life. Failure is not the end, it is a part of the journey. In the end, Daniel's life proves one simple truth: success does not come from never failing, it comes from never stopping. And through this motivational story, you can also learn English while understanding a powerful lesson about growth, patience, and belief.